I killed my best friend with a single phone call. Not the kind where you dial a hitman or whisper poison into someone's ear. No. It was cleaner. Colder. I leaked the coordinates of his offshore account to the feds. The one holding the blood money from the scam that ruined my life. And watched from a burner phone as the raid went live on the dark web feed. He begged in the video, snot-nosed and screaming my name like it could summon mercy. But mercy died the day he framed me for his crimes. That was 6 months ago. Today, I'm standing in the pouring rain outside a gleaming glass tower in downtown Seattle, clutching a soggy resume. Because revenge isn't a one and done, it's a slow bleed. The job listing had popped up on LinkedIn like a miracle. Senior analyst at Apex Dynamics, a cutting-edge fintech startup revolutionizing blockchain security. 6 figures, stock options, remote first with a hybrid office in the Emerald City. I'd been scraping by on gig economy scraps, driving Uber through the night, dodging repo men on my beat-up Civic, ever since the fallout. 2 years in federal prison for wire fraud I didn't commit. All because Tommy, my brother from another mother, the guy who'd shared my dorm room, my first joint, my sister's bed, sold me out to save his own skin. He hacked the system, funneled millions through dummy accounts, then pinned the IP trail on me. By the time the cuffs clicked, he was sipping my ties in Belize, living off my ghost. The interview invite came encrypted, from an HR bot that vanished after confirmation. No red flags. Or so I told myself. Desperation blinds you. I straightened my thrift store blazer, the one with the faint coffee stain on the lapel, and pushed through the revolving doors. The lobby was a tomb, marble floors echoing my footsteps. Unmanned reception desk piled with unopened mail. Fluorescent lights buzzing like angry hornets. No logos on the walls. No buzzing millennials in hoodies. Just a security guard. Mid-50s. Built like a retired linebacker. Slouched behind a console that looked like it hadn't booted up since Y2K. Here for the Apex interview, I said, flashing my ID. My voice cracked nerves. Or maybe the ghost of prison echoes. He didn't look up from his crossword. Apex? Ain't no Apex here. Kid. I laughed. The kind that's half choke. What? Building 47. 9th floor. Sarah Klein. 2 p.m. Now he glanced up, eyes like chipped flint under bushy brows. He set the pencil down deliberate, like a man holstering a gun. Sarah Klein's been dead 6 years. And this building? It's condemned. Has been since the bust. My stomach dropped faster than the elevator I wasn't taking. Bust. He leaned forward, voice dropping to a gravel whisper. FBI raided this place back in 19. Shell company for laundering cartel cash. But that's not why you're sweating bullets. Is it? You look like a man chasing ghosts. I gripped the counter, knuckles whitening. How did he know? The rain outside hammered harder, blurring the world beyond the glass. What the hell is this? Invitation's a trap. Someone wants you here. And they ain't the welcoming committee. He slid a manila envelope across the desk, yellowed and sealed with wax that smelled like old secrets. Read it. Then run. I tore it open, heart thundering. Inside, a grainy photo of me, fresh out of Lompoc, shaking hands with the parole officer. Scribbled on the back in Tommy's jagged script, "Miss me? Alex? Game's just starting. Apex is us, your second chance to pay up." The betrayal hit fresh, a knife twist in scar tissue. Tommy wasn't in Belize anymore. He'd come home, slithering into the shadows of my city, building his empire on the bones of mine. And this interview?
Bait.
To draw me out, dangle hope, then gut me slow. I bolted from the lobby, envelope clutched like a grenade. The guard's laugh chased me into the storm, low, knowing, like he'd seen this play before. Seattle's streets swallowed me, slick with Puget Sound gloom. But my mind raced clear. Tommy had flipped the board again. Framed me once, now luring me into his web. But this time, I wasn't the mark. I was the shark. That night, in my Roach Motel off Aurora Avenue, walls thin enough to hear the hookers negotiating rates, I pieced it together. Apex wasn't just a ghost, it was Tommy's latest hustle. Digging through dark web forums on my ancient laptop, Tor browser flickering like a dying bulb, I found Whispers, Apex Dynamics. Pop-up LLC registered to a P.O. box in Reno, funneling crypto through wallets tied to Eastern European mules.
Tommy's signature, flashy.
Ruthless. Always one step ahead. He'd used my prison time to pivot from wire fraud to blockchain, laundering for the Sinaloa remnants who'd bankrolled his escape. But the photo, that was personal. He'd been watching. Stalking. The man who'd sworn blood brotherhood in our UW frat house, who'd cried on my shoulder when his old man OD'd, now toyed with me like a cat with a half-dead mouse. The envelope had a return address, a burner drop in Pioneer Square. I memorized it, then burned the evidence in the sink, the acrid smoke curling like accusations. Sleep didn't come. Instead, memories flooded. The raid on our shared apartment, feds kicking in the door at dawn, Tommy visiting from his business trip. He'd planted the laptop, wiped his traces, left me holding the bag. Bro, he'd mouthed from the back of the squad car, eyes dry as desert. I'd taken the plea, 18 months reduced to 2 years for cooperation that yielded jack shit. Emerged broke, blacklisted, family estranged. Mom still thought I was guilty. Dad wouldn't take my calls. Dawn broke gray over the sound, fairies moaning like wounded beasts. I showered in scalding water.
Skrubbet till me fin skrimmed.
Then geared up, black jeans, hoodie. The .38 my cellmate had smuggled out for emergencies. Not for killing, not yet. For leverage. Tommy wanted a game, I'd play. But I'd rewrite the rules. The drop was a hole-in-the-wall newsstand, sandwiched between a vape shop and a bail bondsman. Owner was a Pakistani guy with a lazy eye, flipping through yesterday's Post-Intelligencer. Package for Jay.
I muttered.
Sliding cash. He grunted, handed over a slim drive, no note, just cold storage. Plugged it into my laptop at a Starbucks, irony thick as their lattes. And it unfolded blueprints. Not of buildings, of betrayals. Emails from Tommy to a fixer named Reyes, coordinating the Apex shell. Payment logs showing my name siphoned for consulting fees. He'd been bleeding my parole stipends. The bastard. And buried deep, a video file labeled insurance. I hit play. Grainy cam footage, me, in prison jumpsuit, mid-yard brawl. I'd shanked a skinhead for calling me a snitch, self-defense. Ruled clean. But the angle?
Doctored.
Made it look premeditated. Tommy's voiceover. Oily as ever. One leak from you, Alex. And this goes viral.
Your PL.
Revokes you faster than you can say 3 strikes. Welcome back to the fold. Rage boiled.
Pure kerosene.
He wasn't just a head, he was puppeteering. But puppets cut strings. I traced the IP on the drive, bounced through proxies, but cracked the last hop, a loft in Belltown. Tommy's old haunt. Armed with that, I hit the streets, the city's pulse syncing with mine, honking taxis, steaming food carts, the underbelly alive with possibility. First move, recon. I tailed a Apex employee from a coffee run, skinny kid in a beanie. Laptop bag, slung low. He ducked into a WeWork knockoff. All exposed brick and ping-pong tables masking money laundering ops. I flashed a fake badge, courtesy of a Kinko's all-night. Bluffed my way to the 9th floor. Empty desks. Servers humming in a locked closet. The kid, intern vibes, froze when I cornered him in the break room. Who's running the circus? I growled. .38's shadow dancing on the Keurig. He spilled like cheap Merlot. Tommy, aka Victor Kane now, holed up in a penthouse overlooking the market, pulling strings for half the syndicates in the Northwest. He's got eyes everywhere.
Man.
Feds. Rivals you poke. You bleed. I left him zip-tied to a chair. Warning light in his eyes. Back on the street, the guard's words echoed. Someone wants you here. Not Tommy the guard?
No.
Deeper. Reyes. The fixer. Or Tommy's new partner. Some ghost from my past. Night fell. Neon bleeding into the bay. I staked the loft from a rooftop across the way, binoculars fogging with breath. Tommy emerged at midnight. Armani's suit cutting the fog, flanked by goons who looked like they bench-pressed Buicks. He laughed at something, the sound carrying on the wind, carefree. Mine to shatter. I waited till he split solo for a smoke. Slipped down fire escapes. Heart a war drum. Confrontation?
Nah.
Message. I slashed his tires, left a Polaroid on the dash, me holding the drive. Caption your insurance is void. Drove off into the night, the .38 heavy in my lap, the game tilting. But as sirens wailed distant, doubt crept. What if this pulled Mom into the crossfire? Or worse, what if Tommy's flip wasn't greed, but survival? We'd both danced with devils. Maybe I was the monster now. No time for philosophy. Revenge was a freight train. I was strapped in. The Polaroid drop was supposed to be checkmate, but Tommy flipped the board by dawn. My Civic wouldn't start, classic ignition tamper. Wires snipped like veins. Left stranded in a strip mall lot off I-5, rain sheeting the windshield. I hot-wired it with shaking hands, cursing the spark that wouldn't catch. That's when the text started. Burner number. No caller ID. Nice try,
Alex.
but you're playing checkers. I'm on chess. Attached, a screenshot of my mom's house in Tacoma.
Timestamp 3 a.m.
Her porch light flickering like a SOS.
Bastard.
He knew my weak spot, family. The one thread he hadn't severed. I floored it south, weaving through commuter hell, the sound a steel gray blur. Mom's place was a sagging rancher in a neighborhood where lawns fought weeds for dominance. American flags limp in the drizzle. She answered the door in her nurse's scrubs, eyes puffy from graveyard shifts at Harborview. Alex? What? I pushed past, scanning shadows. You alone. Her face hardened, the betrayal scar fresh. Always. Since you went away. What's this about? I showed her the text. Watched her crumble like wet paper. Tommy? That weasel? He called last month. Said he was looking out for us. Offered to fix the roof. She spat the words. But fear lingered, the kind that sticks after you've buried hope. He'd wormed back in. The snake. While I'd rotted, he'd played savior. I hugged her fierce, inhaling the lavender of her detergent, promising walls between us and the storm. Lock the doors. New number for me. No visitors. She nodded, but her eyes said too late. Driving back north, rage simmered to strategy. Tommy wasn't just cunning, he was a chameleon. Shedding skins, frat boy to felon, ghost to ghostbuster. To gut him, I'd need allies. First up, Lena, my ex from before the fall. We'd met at a Mariners game, bonded over bad hot dogs and worse life choices. She bailed when the indictments hit, but not before leaking me her cop sister's number. Detective Lena Vasquez, no relation. Irony's gift, met me in a Denny's off Dearborn. Hash browns congealing between us. Mid-40s, Latina firebrand with a buzz cut and tattoos peeking from her sleeves. She eyed me like contraband. Parolees digging dirt on a ghost corp?
Ballsy.
Or stupid? Both, I admitted, sliding her the drive copy. Tommy Reyes, Victor whatever. Apex is his laundering front. I need a trace. She chewed slow, badge glinting under fluorescence. Off record?
Fine. But you owe me.
And if you're clean, prove it. Her gaze drilled, cynic's armor. But cracks showed. She'd lost a partner to cartel bleed over. This hit home. By midnight, she texted, Reyes is deeper than shit. Tied to Port of Seattle bribes. Maybe Homeland. Stay frosty. Attached, a mugshot. Tommy post-bullies. Botox smooth. Eyes dead as a doll's. Below, a link to a sealed file, my trial docs, with a highlighted anomaly. The IP plan? Timestamped from inside the federal lockup. Tommy hadn't just framed me. He'd hacked from custody, using a dirty guard to proxy the hit. The guard. Lobby fossil from the tower. Pieces clicked. He'd handed me the envelope, not as warning, but ignition. Tommy's inside man. Flipping loyalties for a cut. I drove to the tower under cover of fog. Parked 2 blocks out. Approached on foot. The place loomed skeletal. Windows like empty sockets. Slipped past the chain link. Jimmying a service door with a credit card, pearly perks.
Inside.
The air hung heavy with mildew and malice. Flashlight app cutting shadows. I climbed to the security booth. Empty. But the console glowed faint, live feed. Tapped keys. Cams cycling through the city. Zeroing on my motel. Son of a bitch. They'd been nesting here. Apex ghosts haunting the husk. Footsteps echoed, boots on tile. I ducked behind a pillar. Breath shallow. 2 figures, the guard, lantern-jawed, and a wiry kid from WeWork. Arguing low. Dot told him just enough to bite. Boss wants him rattled. Not rabid. Kid snorted. Reyes is losing it. Framing his own blood? That's biblical. Family's the best leverage. Kid learned that the hard way. Guard chuckled. Dark as the bay.
They passed.
Oblivious. I tailed silent, pulse sinking to the drip of leaks overhead. Basement level, a war room. White bards scrawled with flowcharts, crypto streams to Miami shells, payoffs to port officials. Center, a photo wall.
Me. Mom.
Lena's sister. Tommy's war map. I snapped pics. Heart slamming. Escape was clean, back door to alley. Civic purring faithful. But as I peeled out, headlights caught a tail, black SUV.
Dated menace.
Chase lit the night, tires screeching through soda warehouses. Rain lashing like whips. I cut sharp into an industrial yard, ditched the car behind dumpsters, hoofed it to the light rail. Aboard, anonymous in the crush, I exhaled. Tommy's flip, not just survival, but evolution. He'd gone from petty hacker to syndicate puppeteer, using me as the cautionary tale. The anomaly in my file? His masterpiece, proving loyalty meant no loose ends. Even blood. Lena called at 4 a.m. Your ghost?
He's got pull.
Feds are circling. But wrong pond. You stir more. We both swim with weights. Tell me how to sink him legal. She paused. Diner clatter fading. Apex's next pitch. Tomorrow. Yacht Club. VIPs. Dirty money. Crash it. But Alex? This road forks to hell. I hung up, staring at the drive's files. Hell, I'd furnished the penthouse. Morning came brutal, coffee black as intent, .38 cleaned and loaded. Dressed the part, chinos, polo from Goodwill, earpiece faked from dollar store Bluetooth. Yacht Club sprawl on Lake Union, $1 million toys bobbing in the chop. Slipped the gate posing as catering, tray of deviled eggs masking my stakeout. Tommy held court on the Serpent's Kiss. 80-footer with helipad and hubris. He looked prosperous. Tanned, tailored, laughing with a silver-haired suit who screamed, mayor in waiting. Flanked by the guard. Now in Hawaiian shirt, flipping from rent-a-cop to enforcer. I ditched the tray.
Boarded via dive, swimming silent.
Hauling onto the stern. Dripping. Crouched low. I crept forward. Voices carried, Tommy pitching Apex as the future of clean capital, code for wash your sins here. The suit nodded. Checkbook implied. Then Tommy's eyes scanned the water, locking on ripples. Paranoia? Or instinct? He excused, paced to rail. I froze in shadow, close enough to smell his cologne, same as our college parties. Ghost of better days. You always were the swimmer. Alex, he murmured, not turning. Diving into shit you can't handle. Gun out. I stepped forward. Handle this. He spun slow, hands up, smile crooked. Brother. Been expecting the prodigal. Cut the prodigal son crap. You framed me. Bled my family. What's the endgame? His laugh was wind chime cruel. Endgame? Survival. You were sloppy, leaving trails. I fixed it. Gave you a vacation. Eyes gleamed. Flip mid-sentence. Join me. Apex needs your brain. We run this town. Temptation slithered easy money. Redemption arc. But Mom's face flashed. Fixed. You buried me. Details. He shrugged. Guard materializing silent. Last chance. I raised the .38. Mine now.
Sirens wailed distant Lena Stipp.
Tommy's trap? The yacht rocked. Decision teetering. Shoot? Or flip the script? I didn't shoot. Not then. Bullets are loud. Final. I wanted him to stew. To feel the noose tighten slow. Instead, I cracked him across the jaw with the butt. Solid thwack. Like hitting a ripe melon. He crumpled, blood blooming on his pristine deck shirt. Eyes wide with shock, that twisted to fury. The guard lunged, meaty fists swinging. But I was prison-honed, ducked low. Drove an elbow into his gut. followed with a knee to the jewels. He wheezed, folding like origami. Stay down. Fats, I hissed, zip-tying his wrists to a cleat. Tommy stirred, spitting crimson. You always were sentimental. Shut it. I hauled him up, gun to temple, marching him below decks. The serpent's kiss thrummed with generators. Cabin reeking of leather and lies, mahogany bar stocked with top shelf. Walls lined with abstract art that screamed money laundered. I shoved him into a chair, bound ankles to legs, then rifled his pockets, phone, wallet fat with hundreds, a key fob etched, Apex Prime. Talk. The guard, your plant. He wiped his mouth, grinning through red teeth. Everyone's a plant. Alex. You. Me. Mom's little nursing gig. We're all rooted in dirt. The flip again from plea to philosophy. Classic Tommy. Deflect.
Disarm.
I pressed the barrel harder. The IP hack from lockup.
How?
Bribery's the mother's milk of justice. He leaned in. Conspiratorial. Your cell block CO? Mine for $20K and a green card for his niece. Planted the code while you jerked off to smuggled mags. Revulsion churned. I trusted that system. Scraped for good behavior. All theater. And now, port bribes. Cartel wash, you're not surviving. You're thriving. Thriving requires vision. His eyes lit. Messiah mode. Apex isn't crime, it's evolution. Blockchain's the new gold rush. I'm the sheriff, not the bandit. Bullshit. I smashed the phone, screen spiderwebbing, then uploaded the yacht cords to Lena's secure drop. Feds inbound. Your sheriff's getting deputized. Panic flickered. Real for once. Wait, Alex. Listen. The frame? It wasn't just me. Dad's old crew, the Irish mob from Boston. They leaned after the OD. Said pay up or swim with fishes. You were the patsy 'cause you were clean. I saved us both. Twist one, not greed.
Debt.
But debts don't justify dungeons. Saved? I lost everything. You got out. I didn't. He nodded to a scar on his neck. Faint razor line. Belize was exile, not vacation. They hunted me. Apex? My fortress. Sympathy wormed, brothers in chains. Different cages.
But no.
I gagged him with his own tie. Left him trussed amid the opulence.
Topsides.
The suit and guests milled oblivious. Champagne flutes tinkling. I slipped overboard. Swim to shore a numb stroke through frigid waves. Lake Union spat me out on a public dock. Shivering in weeds. As choppers thumped overhead. Media or feds. Circus either way. Lena scooped me in her unmarked cruiser. Tall and thermos of sludge coffee. You're a walking I-team special. Reyes is singing already, names.
Dates.
But he's lawyered up. Flipping to informant. Flipping again. I laughed bitter. Teeth chattering. Predictable. She eyed me sidelong. Driving through dawn traffic. You? Not so much. That gun, parole violation. Drop it. I hesitated, then ejected the clip. Tossed it into the sound from an overpass. Trust was a gamble. Lena felt like odds in my favor. What's next? Protective custody for you and Mom. But Alex, this web's sticky. Reyes implicates half the city council. You poke deeper. You own the mess. I owned it already. Back at her precinct, a brutalist bunker in Capitol Hill, I pored over seized Apex files. Blueprints weren't just ops, they hid a ledger, my name, not as victim, but beneficiary. Tommy had funneled kickbacks, 5 figures, parked in a Cayman trust under my SSN. Guilt money or trap? Deeper dive, emails to a shadow, untraced sender. But phrasing screamed Fed. Tommy courting a mole, trading dirt for immunity. The guard's name popped, Harlan Tate. XMPD. Dishonorably for evidence tampering. Harlan the hacker's hand. Rage reignited. I slipped the precinct at lunch rush. Lena none the wiser. Harlan's crib, a double-wide in white center. Trailer park ringed by meth labs and mangy dogs. I approached dusk. Cut the power line, spark and silence, then kicked in the screen door. He was mid-beer. TV blaring infomercials. .45 on the lazy boy arm. Grabbed it first. Pressed to his temple, like echo of the yacht. Remember me? Fats? The ghost you summoned. He didn't flinch. Just belched onion. Knew you'd circle back. Reyes pays double to stay ahead. Ahead? You're the tail dragging him down. I zip-tied him to the fridge. The trailer shaking with his bulk.
The hack.
The envelope. Spill, or I ventilate your trailer park dreams. Sweat beaded his brow. But eyes stayed flat. Wasn't personal. Reyes promised retirement Florida Keys.
Nox tradiscen.
You? Collateral. Collateral's what I did in the yard. I chambered around. The click gospel. Whose shadow? He cracked then. Voice whiskey rough. Fed bitch. Undercover. Reyes thinks he's flipping her. She's playing him for the bust. Whole apex.
Sting up.
Your frame? Bait to hook bigger fish. World tilted. Tommy framed me not for debt, but to lure the Irish?
And now?
Feds puppeteering him? Layers upon lies. Proof. He nodded to a safe under the sink, combo his badge number. Irony. Inside, flash drive. Burner logs. Shadow's handle. Agent Kira Voss. Seattle field office. Calls timestamped to my prison release. They'd been watching me as leverage on Tommy. I left Harlan breathing, barely, tires slashed, phone smashed. Drove east to Issaquah. Cheap motel with vacancy sign flickering like Morse. Plugged the drive. Voss's memos. Clinical as autopsy. Subject hail, Reyes alias, to deploy Patsy, A. Carver, for Irish hook. Risk. Blowback on incarceration. My life. A chess pawn. Sleep evaded. Replaced by plans. Confront Voss? Ally? Or burn it all? Dawn brought decision. Go public. Leaked snippets to a PI buddy from the joint. Guy owed me for smuggling smokes. By noon, it hit alt weeklies. Tech ghost haunts City Hall. Parolee claims frame job in massive sting. Tommy's response. Radio silence. But Voss called my burner. How? Voice silk over steel. Mr.
Carver.
Let's chat. Coffee on me. Trap? Or olive branch? I met her at a pier shack in Fremont. Trolls and hipsters oblivious. She was early 40s. Ash blonde. Pantsuit sharp as a shiv. Extended hand. Kira. Heard you like games. I ignored it. Slid the logs across Formica. Your game's rigged. My time served? Your collateral. She sipped Americano. Unflinching. Necessary evil. Reyes was mid-level then. Irish needed a scalp. You fit. Evil's the word. But her eyes, haunted. Like mine. What's the flip now? Immunity for him?
Worse.
He's cutting a deal. Names the council.
Walks.
You're the loose end. Chill settled. Colder than the bay breeze. Then cut me in. I want Reyes. She smiled. Predator's curve. Controversial.
But.
Useful. Partner up. Decision loomed. Sides blurring. Justice or vengeance? Voss felt like a devil with better tailoring. I nodded.
Deal.
As we walked the pier, Tommy's shadow loomed. Text, you leak. Mom pays. Game on. But now 3 players. Trust no one, shoot straight. Partnering with Voss was like betting a scorpion. Thrilling till the sting. She slotted me into the op as asset. Off books. With a vest and a wire that itched like accusation. Play the brother card. She coached in her glass-walled office overlooking the monorail. Draw him out. We nabbed the Irish handover, tonight. Warehouse district. I nodded. But gut twisted. Tommy is bait?
Fine.
But Voss is calm, too practiced. Her memos screamed opportunist. Flipping allegiances like pancakes. Was I her next scalp? Rigged with earpiece and panic button. I drove to the handover. Abandoned canneries by the Duwamish. Rust and Rat Kingdom. Tommy waited in a floodlit yard. Crates stacked like tombstones. Flanked by his WeWork kid and a new face, tattooed gorilla with shamrock ink. Irish muscle. I approached slow. .38 holstered but heavy. Truce flag. Vic. He turned, silhouette sharpening to smirk. Alex. With feds on speed dial? Bold. With you bleeding, councilman? Desperate. I tossed a duffel. Dummy cash from Voss's prop room. You're cut. Walk away. He unzipped. Rifled bills. Laugh echoing off metal. Play money?
Goo.
But you're late. Real parties inside. Nod to the gorilla. Who lumbered forward. .357 gleaming. Wire live. Back up.
Now.
But static crackled, jammed. Voss's flip? Or Tommy's tech? Fight erupted primal. Gorilla swung wide. I ducked. Drove fists into his ribs. Crack of bone.
His roar.
Kid bolted. Tommy watched. Amused. You fight dirty now.
Huh.
Prison polish. Learn from the best. I grappled the gorilla. Knee to throat. Gun skittering free. Snatched it. Spun. Tommy had his own piece. Aimed casual. Drop it. Brother. Irish want a show. Sirens wailed, late. Too late. Voss's cruiser screamed in. TAC team piling out. Gunfire stitched the night, Irish scattering. Tommy diving behind crates. I tackled him mid-fall. Pinning. Barrel to eye. End of line. He bucked. Whispering hot. She's using you. Voss. Her real plays the port commissioner. Reyes is chum. Doubt stabbed. Voss yelled orders. Cuffing the gorilla. But her eyes on me, calculating.
Se jure hale.
Tommy laughed through blood. Ask her about the IP hack. Wasn't me, her op. From day one. World fractured. Voss. The frame's architect? My incarceration. Her ladder? TAC team hauled Tommy. I let them. Vision tunneling. Confrontation waited. Back at the field office. Fluorescent hell. She debriefed cool. Pouring bad coffee.
Clean up.
Irish netted. Reyes sings tomorrow. And me. I leaned in. Voice steel. Your memos. The hack, your CO plant. Her mask slipped. Fraction. Compartmentalized. You were. Expedient. Expedient. I slammed the table. 0.38 phantom weight. 2 years. 2 years for millions saved. Collateral damage builds empires. Flip from partner to apologist. Join proper, badge. Pension. Or walk. With the leak hanging. Threat veiled as offer. Rage crested, I palmed her desk phone. Smashed it, shards flying. Empires on graves. Yours next. Bolted before MPs mobilized. Stealing her cruiser keys, karma's bite. Drove blind. City lights streaking. To mom's. She was packing Voss's protection call. Alex. What's?
Run. Now.
Bundled her into the Civic. Headed east on 90. Cascades looming black. Text blew up. Lena. Where? Feds circling. Tommy's burner. Told you. She's the snake. Meet midnight. Diner off 405. Trap City. But intel was oxygen. We holed in a CLE Ella Motel, Timbertown. Anonymity in evergreens. Mom fretted. Stitching my knuckles. This life, it's poison. Poison's what he served, but her words nod. Was I avenging or accelerating the fall? Midnight neared. I left her barricaded. Drove south. Diner glowed greasy.
Boots empty safe Tommy. Solo.
Pancakes untouched.
Sit. Eat.
We talk. Cuffed?
No.
Arrogant. I slid an opposite. Fork spearing sausage like his throat. Voss played us both. What's your angle now? Angle? He pushed a napkin, sketch of a safe house in Spokane. Coordinates. Truth. The Irish? Dad's debt was cover. Real hook, Voss's lover. The commissioner. She's building a dynasty, port control. Election dirt. Framed you to bury evidence. Twist 2. Voss not Fed crusader. But power broker. Tommy's intel. Burner logs showing her payoffs. My trial a smokescreen. Why tell me? 'Cause you're the blade I sharpened. His eyes softened. Brother flicker. We end her together. Then split the pot. Temptation again, unholy alliance.
Controversial, as sin.
And mom, safe. My word. Liar's oath. But the sketch felt solid. I pocketed it. Stood.
Dawn. Spokane.
Come alone. Drove back. Mind churning.
Sides?
No sides, just survival's edge. Dawn broke bloody over mountains. Mom stayed put. Tearful goodbye. Spoken sprawl. Wheat fields and warehouses. Anonymity in sprawl. Safe house. Nondescript rancher. Blinds drawn. Tommy waited on porch. Thermos steaming. Inside. Docks. Entry. Booby trapped? No. Living room altar of evidence. Laptops open to Voss's emails. Hard drives humming scandals. She's dirty to the core. Commissioner signs tomorrow. Port monopoly. We leak pre-sign. She crumbles.
We?
The word stuck. Poured files. My frame detailed. Voss's directive. CO's payoff from her slush. Deeper. Tommy's complicity. Not pawn but partner. Hail to execute Patsy deployment. Carver ideal.
No prayers.
You knew. Voice flat. Gun rising. He froze. Knew? I chose. To protect.
Bull.
Betrayal redoubled. Deeper cut. You greenlit my cage. Greenlit? I begged off. Flip to plea. Hands up. Voss had leverage, Dad's body.
State åt.
Said expose or comply. Grief, flash genuine. Our old man. Junkie ghost. But lies layered. I backed him to wall. .38 steady. Comply by burying me? By saving you later. He lunged, not attack. But tackle hug. Brother. Shot cracked, grazed a shoulder. Blood blooming. Accidental? Intent? He slumped. Eyes wide accusation. You? Sirens wailed. Voss's trace? I bolted. Evidence clutched. Into the fields.
Rann till Lungsbro ned.
Hitched a ride west. Farmer's truck. Silent to Seattle. Holed in a Fremont squat. Artist co-op. Squats free for trouble. Uploaded leaks anonymous. Alt press. Reddit. X. Voss's empire viral by lunch. City ignited. Protests at City Hall. Commissioner scrambling. Tommy? Our records leaked. He'd spun the Greys as assailant. Fingering me. Wanted again. Mom vanished. Voss's custody. Panic clawed. Called Lena. Hide her. Trust no suits. Too late. She's safe. Witness protection pending. Lena's voice cracked. You?
Turn in.
This fire burns hot. Hotter than hell. Night fell. I staked Voss's condo. Waterfront high-rise. Views mocking my ruin. Slipped security with a service called Bluff.
Rode elevator silent.
Door ajar, careless. Inside, chaos. Drawers ransacked. Voss pacing. Phone to ear. Fine Carver.
Now.
Spotted me. Hand to holster, hers empty. Looking for this? I dangled her .40. Swiped from the hall table. She straightened. Ice Queen. Monologue time? Skip it.
Noise keep.
You built this, my cage. Tommy strings. Why? Power vacuum.
Alex.
Irish filled it. I cleaned house. Flip. Unapologetic. You? Useful idiot. Gun raised. Finger itching. Controversial shot. Kill the spider.
Vep dies.
But Mom's voice echoed. Poison. Lowered. Not today. Backed out. Elevator descent eternal.
Outside.
Rain lashed. Decision forked. Leak more? Or vanish? Tommy texted. Hurt. But alive. Voss's head yours.
Alliance whisper.
Sides blurred. I was the controversy incarnate. Vanishing wasn't in my DNA. Too much Carver stubborn. Too little sense. Instead, I doubled down. Hitting the underbelly where Voss's roots tangled deepest, the port's night shift. Longshoreman unions, laced with her bribes. Dressed as a stevedore, overalls from a dumpster dive. Hard hat shadowing my face, I infiltrated the gates at midnight. Badge forged on a library printer. The Duwamish hummed with cranes groaning like arthritic giants. Containers stacked labyrinthine. Hiding deals in steel. Whispers led to Mick O'Leary, Irish remnant. Pot-bellied with a brogue thick as peat. He held court in a foreman trailer. Whiskey fumes cutting the diesel. Yankee feds boya? Piss off. I slid a photo, Voss with the commissioner. Time-stamped yacht party. Not fed. Traitor. Your boss is cut. Half now. Courtesy her. His eyes narrowed.
Guinness gut-heaving laugh.
Cheeky. But proof. Flash drive plugged to his ancient PC. Logs spilling payoffs. My frame as footnote. O'Leary whistled low. She's been skimming since 18. Irish, don't forget. Alliance forged in peat and spite. By 3 a.m., his crew mobilized, subtle sabotage, delayed shipments, lost manifests pointing to Voss. Dawn broke with port chaos, Fed swarming. Voss's name on every scanner. I slipped out amid the scrum. Earpiece dead, but Lena's text alive. Port's yours. Mom's safe in Spokane. Turn self in deal sweet. Sweet as cyanide. Tommy's follow. O'Leary? Bold. Meet, rendezvous point. Old frat bar.
You Hund.
Ghosts galore. The rusty anchor hadn't changed. Peanut shells crunching underfoot. Jukebox crooning Springsteen. Walls scarred with carved initials, mine and Tommy's. A&T forever. He nursed a IPA at the corner booth. Shoulder bandaged. Eyes fever bright. You shot me. We're even. Even's a myth. I slid in. Ordering whiskey neat. Voss is reeling. Port's choking her. Thanks to you. Flip, gratitude genuine? But she's countering, Commissioner flipped. Blaming you for leaks. APB out. Murder won on the graze. Murder? It was a flesh wound. Your spin. Survival. He leaned. Voice dropping. Join full. We got her. Take the port ourselves. Temptation crested. Kingdom for king's lairs. But his eyes, same oily gleam from the frame. What's the real? Irish deck cover. Bull. You wanted the crown. He deflated. Fraction. Wanted out. Voss recruited post-dad, said play or perish. The hack, her script, my execution. Framed you to test loyalty. Loyalty. Whiskey burned. To her?
To us.
Hand extended. Brother bond. End this. Together. Hesitation. Controversy incarnate.
Shook.
Voss first. Plan hatched over shots. Lure her to neutral ground. Old warehouse from the bust. Tommy's bait. Evidence drop. Her desperation hook. I prepped. .38 cleaned. Vest borrowed from O'Leary's stash. Exit mapped. Afternoon blurred to setup. Warehouse skeletal. Echoes of Apex ghosts. Tommy paced catwalk. Phone rigged to record. I hid in rafters. Sniper's perch. 8 p.m. Her Audi purred in. Voss stepping out solo. Tailored coat. Heels clicking defiance. Victor. Your drop better sing. He tossed a folder. Fakes. Her own memos looped. She snatched. Scanned. Laugh sharp. Amateur. Where's the real juice? Up here. I dropped. Landing light. Gun trained. Juice is you.
Kira.
She spun. Hand flashing knife. Pro move. Blade glinting.
Carver.
The patsy returns. Tommy circled.
His piece out.
Endgame.
Voss.
Your dynasty crumbles. Flip midair. She lunged at him. Not me. Blade slicing his bandage. Blood spraying. You were mine first. Chaos. I fired. Grazed her arm. Ricochet sparking. Tommy grappled. Knife skittering. She kneed him. Broke free. Gun from ankle holster barking. Bullet whined past my ear. I returned fire. Clipping her leg. She crumpled. Cursing Gaelic. TAC team breached. Doors crashing. Shouts. But whose? Voss's wire? O'Leary's? Floodlights blinded. I vaulted catwalk. leg screaming from twist. Tommy yelled. Alex run. Hesitated, brother or bait. Bolted. Fire escape rattling. Into the night. Sirens converged. I melted into alleys.
Heart triple time.
Lena's safe house. Queen and walk up. Bookshelves and bourbon. She met me at door. Shotgun casual. Idiot. Voss's DOA. Your bullet?
Clean.
But Tommy's spilling. You pulled trigger. Lies. But doubt slithered. The graze on her leg fatal? Mom, secure. But you're hot. Coast to Mexico. My guy's boat. Exile again. Rage boiled. Tommy's flip. Sold me to save skin.
Voss's corpse's alibi.
Drove to the frat bar. Anchor empty save bartender, wiping glasses. No Tommy, ghosted. Back at safe house. Lena poured. He's in wind. Irish picked him up.
Alliance?
Or ambush. We plotted. Hit the Irish den. Extract truth. Dawn raid. O'Leary's pub in Georgetown. Shamrocks and shadows. We stormed. Lena badge first. Me shadow. Mick surrendered easy. Hands up.
Easy. Lass.
Business. Where's Reyes? Cut loose. Said family first. Grin sly. Your bullet on boss?
Clean work.
Ports open, cuts for you. If play. Bribe veiled. Lena cuffed him. I searched backroom. Tommy's jacket? Note pinned. Sorry.
Bro.
Had to. Safe house cords, yours now. Forgive? Cords, mom's new hide. Betrayal or bone?
Drove solo.
Cascades calling. Arrived dusk. Cabin tucked in pines. Mom on porch. Rocking peaceful. Alex. Hug bone crush. He called Tommy. Said you're clear.
Clear?
Lie detector failed. Inside. Fire crackling. I spilled frame. Flips. Boss's end. She listened. Eyes wet. Boys and your games. End it. Son.
Live.
Words anchor. But night brought texts. Anonymous. Voss's burner. Not dead. Your shot missed vital. Tommy's mine. Irish handover tonight. Resurrected? Or ghost? Rage reignited. Grabbed keys. Left mom sleeping. Poured again. Final play. Irish yard. Fog thick. Containers whispering. Tommy emerged. Duffel slung. Payoff? Voss shadowed him. Limp pronounced. Gun low. Victor. Her voice ice. The cut. He turned. Saw me. Eyes pleading. Alex, don't. I stepped from shadow. Too late. Gunfire symphony. Voss fired first. Tommy jerked. Red missed. He fired back. Her crumpling true this time. I advanced. .38 barking, insurance. Bodies slumped. Duffel spilling cash like confetti. Kneeled by Tommy. His breath rattle. Did it. For us. Us died in Lompoc. But hand clasped his. Final flip, forgiveness fraction. Rest. Sirens wailed. I vanished into fog. Cash grabbed, seed for new start. Mom waited. Life beckoned. But dawn brought twist. Lena's call. Bodies?
Gone. Staged.
Tommy and Voss partners all along. Frame? Their con. To hook you back in. World imploded. Betrayed thrice by brother. Fed. Self. Cash burned? Or build? Controversies thrown. I kept it. Flipped to ghost. The cash burned a hole in my duffel. But not like the truth scorched my veins. Tommy and Voss, endgame lovers? The frame. Our brotherhood. The flips. All theater to reel me into their syndicate web. Lena's intel came encrypted. Voice hushed over a scrambled line from her precinct bunker. Autopsies faked. They're holed in a Vancouver safe house. Cross-border play. Port's the prize. But you're the key. Your death sells the narrative. My death. Parolee turned killer. Ghost story to scare rivals. Rage?
Them now.
Seattle's gray swallowing me as I ditched the Civic in a Magnolia junkyard, torched it with siphon gas. Flames licking sky like middle finger. Hitchhiked north. Thumb out to truckers hauling lumber. Their cabs reeking of chew and regret. Border loomed. Peace arch. Customs drones buzzing. I crossed pedestrian. Backpack light. Passport forged by O'Leary's forger. Jack Harlan irony nod. Vancouver, rain-slick streets. Canuck politeness masking grit. Safe house traced via Lena's Fed hack, condo tower in Yaletown. Glass and greed. Staked from a coffee shop across. Double-double fueling stakeout. Tommy emerged noon. Arm in sling, but stride cocky. Voss on his elbow, limp feigned. Laugh shared. Intimate. Betrayal's gut punch anew. Night fell neon. I scaled the fire escape, parachute cord from army surplus. Gloves gripping cold metal. Balcony slider ajar, arrogance. Inside, low lights. Jazz humming. Them entwined on leather sectional. Champagne popping. To new beginnings, Voss toasted. Clinking with Tommy. Carver's out, believed dead. Port's ours.
Ours.
The word venom. I ghosted hallway. .38 silenced, black market whisper quiet. Bedroom door cracked. Their whispers. Post-coital plots. He almost broke us, Tommy murmured, tracing her scar. But you, genius. Framing the brother. She purred. Family's the deepest cut.
Now.
Irish bow or burn. Gun raised. I kicked in shadow executioner. Burn first. They scrambled. Voss diving for nightstand peace. Tommy shielding her instinctive. Alex, wait.
Bang.
Silencer puff. Bullet folding his knee. He howled. Collapsing. Voss fired wild. I batted her wrist. Gun clattering. Pinned her.
Need a chest.
Genius? Your amateur hour. Her laugh bubbled. Unhinged. Amateur? We built this on your back. Join or what? Tommy wheezed.
Crawling.
We're family now. All of us. Flip grotesque, throuple of traitors. Revulsion crested. I cracked Voss's temple. Lights out. Zip-tied them back to back. Duct tape symphony. Then the ritual. Evidence dump. Laptops seized. Drives yanked. Walls tagged with their own memos. Printer ink indicting. Woke them with water splash. Cold as betrayal. Monologue time.
Kira.
Victor. Your empire's ash. Tommy's eyes pleaded. Alex, please. It was her idea. The frame. I fought. Liar. Voss spat. He scripted the IP. Wanted your cut from day one. Mutual flips, snakes devouring tails. I played the recordings. Their balcony toast. Bedroom schemes. Bullshit symphony. Who's the puppet now? Silence heavy. Then Tommy. You win.
Take the drives.
Walk. Temptation, easy out. But controversy brewed. Kill and claim throne? Or mercy? Let law grind? Mom's voice, poison. But poison purified. Drove them cross-border in Voss's Audi, trunk trussed. Gag muffled. Dropped at Blaine border post. Anonymous tip to Lena. Package for you. Vanished south. Cash seating a Reno P.O. box. New ID. Clean slate?
No.
Guilt nod. Back in Seattle. Ghost town of me now. I hit the port solo.
Alirius pup. Shamrotsku sem viltet. Mik nursing stayut.
You're back from dead. Whiskey. Truth. Slit a flash. Voss Tommy merger docs. They're ghosts too. Ports open, but fair cut. No strings. He eyed. Nodded slow. Fair's the word. Irish remember debts. Alliance 2.0, Longshore reform. Bribes rerouted to union pots. Lena looped in. Badge shining. You're clean-ish. Mom's stateside. Waiting.
Mom.
Drove to her, suburban tract in Everett. White pickets mocking. She hugged eternal. No questions. Home.
Son.
Home. Illusion. Nights brought dreams. Tommy's plea. Voss's laugh. Twist lurking. Weeks blurred. Gig at a Boeing sub. 9-5 grind. Lena dinners turning dates. Spark in cynicism. But ex-post stirred. Vancouver couple vanishes. Fedlink. Tommy and Voss. Fugitives flipped. Then the knock dawn.
Door cracking.
Mom answered. I stirred. .38 under pillow. Voices hers. Then Lena's. Alex, it's him.
Tommy.
Disheveled. Sling gone. Eyes hollow. Heard you're reformed. Me too.
Bull.
But Mom's gaze, hope. Let him in. Son.
Kitchen tableau, coffee perking. Tension thick.
Voss dumped me, he confessed. Took the cash. Bolted to Cayman. Said I was expendable. Karma's flip. And you? Here for scraps? For family. Handout. Forgive. Rebuild. Controversy peaked. Readers. If this were book. Split. Redeem the devil or damn. I clasped.
Slow.
One chance. Work the docks, earn it. Months ground. Tommy slinging crates. Sweat equity. Lena warmed. Ring talk whispers. Mom's smiled genuine. Port cleaned. Scandals faded. But twist dropped Christmas Eve. Envelope under tree. No tag. Inside. Voss postcard. Cayman stamp. Enjoy the scraps. Brothers. Empire's mine. Your frame was rehearsal. Photo attached. Her on beach. Flanked by Irish ghosts. O'Leary's crew. Bought out. Betrayal eternal.
Tommy saw.
Face ashen. She played us all. Gun from drawer. Mine again. Round 2. He nodded.
Together.
Cycle spun. Revenge's wheel. No end.
But now.
Sides mine. We boarded a flight south. Mom's blessing tear-streaked. Lena's kiss promise. Cayman heat hit like judgment. Voss's villa. Palm-shrouded. Guards dozing. Night raid. Silent symphony. Tommy covering flank. She waited on Lanai. Martini raised. Prodigal's return. Final flip. Join me, real empire. Tommy hesitated. I fired center mass.
No grace.
She toppled. Glass shattering. Tommy exhaled. End. End. Cash vaults cracked. Laundered clean, our seed.
Back stateside.
Ghosts buried. Tommy vanished. True reform or flip. Lena wed me spring. Mom danced at reception. Life bloomed. Houseboat on the Sound. Sunsets healing. But postcards came sporadic. Blank. Postmarked global. Boss's laugh? Or paranoia? Ending ambiguous. Happy for some. Tragedy's shadow for others. Debate fuel. Was redemption real? Or revenge's mask? I choose boat, rock. Lena's hand in mine.
For now.
Word count. 1002. Wait, no. This is file 6. But the story needs 8 parts. Adjust. Wait. Mistake. This outline rushed the end. Extend. Actually, recalibrating. This file ends on the cusp. Deeper. Post Cayman?
No.
Save for later. Current count approximate. Cayman cash bought freedom. But freedom's a fickle bitch, slips through fingers like sand, leaving you parched for purpose. Tommy and I split the haul 60-40, my cut for the bullet, his for the betrayal discount. He vanished into the Rockies. Reform, mumbled over airport tequila. Eyes darting like a man who knew flips were fate. Right when settled, I said. He nodded. Hug awkward as exes. Plain West.
Me solo.
Lena waiting at SeaTac with takeout pho and a don't be stupid glare. Re-entry slammed. Mom's Everett bungalow now ours. Picket fence painted fresh. She fussed over stir-fry. Probing gentle. Brother's ghost. Buried. Lie half-true. Nights. I paced decks of our houseboat, moored in Shill's Hole. Waves lapping like unanswered questions. Lena's ring glinted. Proposal post Voss. Anchor me. Alex. No more chases. Wedding small. Beach. June fog. Vows salt-kissed. Vows to normalcy, Boeing shifts. PDA meetings. The American dream shrink-wrapped. But normalcy chafed. Port whispers reached. O'Leary's crew fracturing. Voss's Cayman ghost funding a splinter. New syndicate. Blockchain 2.0. Tommy's text sporadic. Denver gig.
Clean. You?
I replied vague. Trust eroded to ash. Twist brewed autumn. Lena's precinct bust docks raid. Irish lowlifes spilling. Your name came up, she confessed over IPAs at the anchor. Jukebox wailing petty. Voss's ledgers, your SS. Laundered loops. My blood money. Circling back. Burn it. Can't. Feds want testimony. You, as witness. Her hands squeezed. Lawyer's grip. Immunity. But spotlight. Spotlight? Prison echo. No. Us or him. Controversy domestic now. Her badge versus. My ghosts. Sleepless. I dug. Dark web dives.
Tor flickering.
Boss alive? Postcards taunted, latest from Macau. Scrawl miss the family? Tommy's number dead. Last ping. Vegas casino IP. Road called. Told Lena business trip. Kissed forehead. Drove south. Civic resurrected, new plates. Ghost in machine. Vegas neon hit like migraine. Strip a carnival of sin. Casinos pulsing with desperate dreams. Tommy holed in a flamingo suite. High roller comped. Blackjack tables his church. Found him dawn. Hungover at slots. Quarters clinking futile. Alex.
Shit.
Postcards. Voss. He paled. Slots forgotten. Heard rumors. She's rebuilding Macau dens. Our code.
R.
Gun from ankle. Casual draw. You flipped again.
No, square.
Hands up. Brother plea. After Cayman, I cut ties.
But she.
Messaged. Leverage on the frame, tapes of us. The villa hit.
Tapes.
Evidence eternal. Play.
Laptop who met, good I need feet.
Our raid, me firing. Voss crumpling. Doctored audio, Tommy's voiceover. Carver's the triggerman fed hit. Blackmail gold. She's selling it to who?
Feds.
Or Irish Redux. Wants us dancing. Flip chain, Voss puppeteering from grave. Rage unified. End her. Planned Macau flight. Cash greased. City of lights low. Neon dragons. Gambling dens humming Cantonese deceit. Traced her to a Kowloon high-rise, penthouse fortress. Guards tried to toot. Infiltration, Tommy's bluff, delivery, crates of tech. Me in trunk. Heart hammering. Unloaded to service elevator. Burst at chime, silencers coughing. Guards folding like cards. Penthouse, silk screens. Voss at jade desk. Cigarette holder poised. Boys. Smoke curled.
Diva drag.
Reunion. Tommy froze, I advanced. Curtain call. She laughed.
Low.
Curtain? This opera's mine. Frame was Act 1, your prison. My entry.
Tommy?
My muse. He flinched. Lies. Truth. She slid a reel to reel. Archaic. Played. Our frat days. Tommy's whispers to her, undercover then. Seducing secrets. He sold you before the hack. For love. Devastation. Tommy's face crumpled.
Kia. E.
Gun swung. Mine to him. Confirm. He nodded.
Tears.
Wanted out. She promised. Betrayal bedrock. Voss smiled.
Now.
Boys choose.
Kill me.
Tapes drop.
Join.
Empire shares. Controversy zenith. Fratricide or submission. Tommy lunged. Not at me. Her. Knife from desk. Plunging frantic. She gurgled. Clawing. I fired finish. Headshot mercy. Reel smashed. Drives wiped. Tommy slumped. Bloodied hands. End. Hugged him.
Last.
Bullet to temple, his plea. Eyes closed. Body count mine. Fled Macau dawn. Charter to nowhere, Bali beach. Anonymity in waves. Postcard stopped. Lena's emails, come home.
Us.
Home?
Wrecked.
But choice, rebuild or rot. Chose her. Returned winter. Testimony dodged, Lena's pull. Life patched, therapy circles. Dockside barbecues. Mom's grandkid talk. Lena's glow. Twist final, spring. Mailbox photo. Me and Tommy Young. Back. Family indoors.
Voss, ghost or ally?
Debate rages in my head. Happy illusion. Tragic echo. I burn it. Choose forward. Forward's a fragile path. Paved with what-ifs and what-nows. Bali's salt faded fast, 2 months of palm shade and cheap beer. But Lena's texts pulled like tide, empty beds colder than cuffs. Booked red-eye.
Landed sitats folksrådet.
Her arms airport tight. Idiot, she whispered.
Kiss fierce.
Don't vanish again. Re-entry ritual. Mom's lasagna. Overcooked but love thick. Houseboat rocked gentler now. Seattle's pulse sinking. Mariners games on radio. Craft brews with Lena's tack buddies. Testimony loomed. But Voss's death in Macau, staged via triad favor. Bodies swapped, bought silence. Feds circled. But O'Leary's whispers warded. Carver's clean, Irish vouch. Tommy's ghost lingered soft. Photo from his Denver lockbox. Mailed posthumous. Us at 18. Keg stand kings. Caption brothers forever. Framed it. Hidden drawer. Guilt's trophy. Spring thawed to summer. Lena's stick turned pink. Life 2.0 brewing. Dad, she teased. Ultrasound wand waving. Joy tentative.
Terror twin.
Prenatal classes. Name debates, Riley. Unisex strong. But nights. Dreams flipped. Voss rising. Tommy pleading. My trigger finger judge. Controversy domestic. Therapy unearthed the frame's rot. PTSD labeled. Pills prescribed. You're not monster, Shrink droned. But mirror lied. Eyes hollow. Hands that killed steady on bump. Port stabilized. O'Leary retired. Union vote clean. My consult. Off books. Ethics gray. Funneled fair cuts. Lena promoted. Detective gold shield. Life's mosaic. Cracks gilded. Twist crested Labor Day. Anonymous package. Houseboat deck. Manila. No stamp. Local drop. Inside. Real fragment. Charred but playable. Hooked to ancient player. Static. Then Voss's voice. Pre-Macau. If I fall. Burn all. But Alex, you're the real revenge. Frame was gift. Forge the blade.
Gift?
Madness. Audio looped. Her confession. Tommy's complicity detailed, not betrayal.
But test. He chose you to survive.
I chose him to break. Break? Or build. Real ended with coordinates. Pioneer Square. R drops ghost. Lena found me catatonic.
What?
Endgame. Gun from safe. Her hand stopping mine.
No.
We drove downtown. Square buzzing tourists. Drop. Newsstand shuttered. But basement access. Padlock picked easy. Descended. Vault room. Apex echoes. Center. Safe. Combo our birthday. Shared lie. Cracked. Stacks cash. Deeds port shares.
Clean. Note.
Voss's script. Empire's yours.
Nostrines.
Flip the world.
Carver.
Or burn it. Strings invisible. Tommy's hand? Her redemption arc? Debate eternal. Gift or grave. Burn the cash, bonfire on deck. Lena watching flames dance. Deeds donated. Union trust.
Vivico.
Real to Lena. Evidence. Your play. She nodded. Badge heavy. Clean close. Fall deepened. Riley kicked. Future tangible. Mom knitted booties. Stories of my wild youth sanitized. Holidays glowed. Turkey. Toast. Ghosts polite. But New Year's. Champagne fizzing. Twist whispered. X alert. Lena's phone. Vancouver couple spotted. Reyes and Voss. Mexico. Alive? Flip final? I laughed. Pulled her close. Let M run. Ending, not by. Not happy, ambiguous grace. Readers pick, villains win. Or heroes heal. I choose heal, rocking chair creak. Riley's cry dawn chorus. Lena's snore anchor.
Revenge?
Cycle broken.
Or paused.
Fade to sound waves. Eternal lap.